Good afternoon. Welcome to Perfect Posture Part 3. This is the seated version. So this was the little live I was supposed to be doing on Friday, but I was a bit under the weather, so I am fine now. So I'm doing it now, so it's a bit weird to do it on a Sunday. But here I am. This is quite short, and I'm just going to focus on one type of posture, and that is kyphosis. So if you happen to see Monday or Wednesday, you will know what I'm talking about, but if you didn't, I'm just going to briefly go over it. So kyphosis is a posture defect that's very, very, very common, and particularly more common as we get older in our lives. So I'm just going to turn to the side so that you can see what I'm talking about. So our perfect posture, our optimum posture, is that everything's lined up in a nice straight line. So your earlobe is lined up with the middle of your shoulder, then lined up with your hips. If you were standing up, it would be lined up with your knees and your heels as well. So just sitting down, earlobes lined up with your the middle of your shoulders. So that's lovely posture. Of course, most people, particularly when they get older, their shoulders drop forwards, their head drops forward, you start to stoop. You start to get this major curve in the top of your spine. You've got a little bit of a curve, but it gets bigger as you get older and you lose the plumpness in the discs between your vertebrae. It all squishes down. Good afternoon. It all squishes down and it gets and it all crumbles a little bit, and it's much easier to for your head to tilt forward, your chin to stick forward, and get this big curvature in the top of your spine. Shoulders are often like this. Also, not just for older people, young people often have posture like this from sitting on phones all the time, computers, tablets, slouching, watching the television, driving. All sorts of things make this posture worse. So this is really common. It's one that I have got a little bit of. My natural posture would be with my shoulders a little bit forward, but I make a big effort to try and roll them back as much as I can all the time. So and the downfall of this posture is, of course, that if this gets worse, which it does out of habit and laziness and just bad posture, if it gets worse, it can it tightens up your chest, it can squash the organs inside, so your lungs don't have room to expand properly when you're breathing. It can cause all sorts of problems. The muscles in the back become stretched, and it can be really easy for you to injure yourself, injure your shoulders. So it's really not a great posture. So we want to do all we can to try to help. So if you've been in this posture for a long time, you're not necessarily going to reverse it totally to this, but if you can make some little changes and make it a little bit better, and if you can just be aware of it and think about it, then that would be really helpful. So if you haven't got that posture, then great, you're fantastic, well done, and keep doing what you're doing, because you're obviously standing up nice and tall in a nice posture, so well done. But if you have, this is to help you. So just a few little nice warm-ups first to start with. It's going to be quite short, so I'm just going to start with the shoulders, obviously. Good afternoon. So I'm going to start by rolling the shoulders forward. Now, I don't normally roll the shoulders forward. I normally really focus on rolling them back. But if you have got this kyphotic posture, rolling them forward is probably going to be much more comfortable for you. So just see how it feels when you roll your shoulders forward. Is that comfortable? Because if your back muscles are stretched and your chest muscles are tight, it's going to be more normal for you. But then I want you to roll them back. So really, when you're rolling them back, you're thinking about lifting your shoulders and then relaxing them down at the back. You're thinking about your shoulder blades squeezing together. Now, this is the most important thing that I would like you to take away from today. To correct this posture, you need to think about drawing your shoulder blades together, squeezing them together, so they're nice and flat, and also they are sliding down the back of your ribs. So you don't want your shoulder blades sticking out to like wings from your back. You want them nice and flat and sliding together and down your back. That is what we are looking for the perfect posture. So how does that feel when you roll your shoulders back? Is that uncomfortable? Does it feel like your chest's tight? Does it feel like hard work with your back muscles? It might do. And if you did nothing else to improve your posture, if you could just a couple of times a day roll your shoulders back like this, that would help to ease the tension in your shoulders. So that would be a really big help. So that's that. So I'm just going to do a bit more warm up with the shoulders. So I'm going to lift the shoulders up and down, up and down. So you're really squeezing them up towards your ears and then you're relaxing them right back down. So of course we don't want this, but we want them lengthened away down. So you're thinking about your neck being nice and long as your shoulders drop down. Really feel them lengthening down away down your spine, up and down. It actually feels like quite hard work when you're doing this. I mean, all we're doing at the moment is just warming up the shoulders, but it's quite hard work, but it's good for you. So if you can persevere and do some of this every day, that would really, really help. So then I'm going to take the shoulders forward, which of course is the posture that we've all got, a lot of us have got, but then you're going to squeeze them back. That's the one that we're going to emphasise. I'm going to do it from the side so you can see. So forwards, we're more naturally in that position, but then squeezing them back. So I'm over emphasising that movement to squeeze them back. Shoulders forwards, just to see the difference. So as you squeeze them back, you're opening up your chest, you're sticking your chest out, you're squeezing your shoulder blades together. I do a lot of this, a lot of stuff like this in all my classes and all my lives, because I know that it's a huge thing for people with their posture. So this is not anything new that I'm doing today. I always include a lot of shoulder work and shoulder warm-ups. It also helps keep your shoulders nice and stable, and the more stable and secure they are in their sockets, the easier it is to not have injuries. Very, very easy to injure your shoulders. I know, I've had a couple of shoulder injuries and it takes a long time to get better. So the more you can warm up your shoulders, get them used to being in the right place and keep them nice and stable, the better. Okay, let's just do circles again. If you want to, you can do some circles forward, but then make sure that you do some circles back, because that's the one that we want to emphasise. You're opening up your chest, feeling your shoulder blades squeezing together. Okay, so I'm going to just do a little bit of a neck warm up as well, because of course if you have got this posture where your head's sticking forward, you're going to have a lot of tightness in your neck. I've got that, a little bit of tightness in my neck, so it's really, really quite nice to ease it. So I'm going to do some head exercises, neck exercises, but to start with, just do a stretch. So we're just going to take the head to the side nice and slowly, and then back to the middle. Of course, if anything hurts, as always, if anything hurts, please don't do it. If you can do it gentler and it's fine, then that's great. But if it hurts, you don't want to do it. So you're sitting up nice and tall. I didn't really mention this at the beginning, but of course you're sitting up nice and tall. You're imagining your string, pulling your head up towards the ceiling. And of course your pelvic floor's lifted and your tummy squeezed in. But today I'm just focusing on the top of your body, the head and the shoulder, the head, neck and the shoulders really. So I'm not worrying too much about that. So then I'm going to drop the chin down to the chest. And then as I lift it up, if that's comfortable, you can open your mouth a little bit. Might be a little bit more comfortable than taking the head up with the mouth closed. I'm going to try that. You're going to get more of a stretch down your neck, but if it's more comfortable, then open up your mouth as you look up. And of course you want to do this nice and slowly, so as not to cause any problems. Ooh, there's my neck crunching. So then you're going to take your ear to your shoulder to the side. This one's often the hardest one. Very, very gently. So you don't want to let your shoulder lift up to meet your ear. You're taking your ear down towards your shoulder. You're going to get a bit of stretch down the side of your neck. Not forgetting to breathe, of course, nice and deeply. That will help. One more of those. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that and add in a little circle. So I'm going to take the ear to the shoulder, then I'm going to drop the chin down to do a little semicircle, up to the side, and then back up to the middle. Ear to the shoulder, little semicircle round. So we're really getting a bit of a stretch down the neck, to the side, up it down, and up, and one more of those. Lovely, so that's warming up your neck a little bit. So we're going to work it a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do, your head will be a little bit forward probably. We want to address that and we want to bring the head back. So you're thinking about somebody pushing your nose and just pushing it back. When I finish doing these sitting down, I'm going to do them standing up against the door here, so that you can try them doing against the wall, and then you'll feel it better but I wanted to do it sitting down to start with. So this is just, you could call it a chin tuck or a head nod. You're just going to stick your chin forward. That's the position we don't want, but then you're going to feel it pushed back. So it's not very flattering. You're going to get a double chin, but that's fine. We're not going to worry about that. I'm not going to be all worried about that. So it's chin's forward, but what we want is the chin coming back. So really, really think about someone pushing your nose. You want to think about your head being pulled up nice and high. You don't want your head forward, you want it in a nice straight line. You're thinking about bringing your earlobes to over the top of your shoulders. So if you can start off with your shoulders rolled back, that would be even better. So stick it forward and then draw it back, feel it being pushed back. And it might be really uncomfortable if you've got quite a bad kyphotic posture and your natural position is like this. It's going to be difficult to feel your head drawing back like this. It's going to be quite hard. So if you can just do tiny little ones to just try and address it a little bit, that's better than nothing. Just try and think about it. Have a look in the mirror, see what's going on, and just try and think about trying to address that curvature that you don't want, because you don't want to end up like this, all hunched over, as a lot of people when they get older do, all hunched over like that's so bad for you. So we need to try and think about it as much as we can. So this is a chin tuck. I'm just drawing the chin back, feeling the neck being nice and long. We'll do that against the wall in a minute as well. So again, if you just could do a couple of those every day, that would help. Really, really focusing on the drawing back. Get the double chin, don't worry about that. Think about your neck being nice and long, so that's your neck. So coming onto the shoulders, so we'll do some more shoulder rolls. And then we'll do my favourite exercise, of course, the dumb waiter. I tend to always do this in most of my classes because it's such a lovely one. Elbows are tucked into your waist and you're just opening up your arms. So your shoulders are rotating round and your shoulder blades are squeezing together behind you. That's what we want. That is what we're focusing on. So whatever you do as you go about your day, just try and think about rolling the shoulders back and squeezing the shoulder blades together. And if you can do that, then you will really, really help your kyphotic posture. So squeezing the shoulder blades together. You're keeping the elbows tucked in. Don't let the elbows wander out away from your waist. Keep them tucked into your waist. And just focus on the shoulders. And really squeeze them together. Chest's opening up. Shoulder blades squeezing together. Then I'm going to do this next one, which is similar, but make it a little bit bigger. Take the arms up at the front, take the arms out, squeeze the shoulder blades together, back to the middle and down. If you can, try and think about it, squeeze the tummy in as well, that will help. But really, even if you forget everything else, just focus on the shoulders. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. So it's like the dumb waiter, but a little bit bigger. And if you do have any arm or shoulder issues and injuries, and this hurts, then obviously don't do it. Stick to the ones with your arms bent. So then we're going to add in a little squeeze at the back. So you're going to take the arms up at the front and then squeeze the shoulder blades together, really pulse and squeeze them together to open up the chest, back to the middle and down. Up, and then squeeze, 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 back to the middle and down. We do one more of those. Up, squeeze. Lovely, and back and down. Okay. Just have a little roll of your shoulders. Okay, so I'm going to do the VW, and again we will do this one standing up against the wall in a minute. So you're going to have your arms in a V shape, and then your elbows are coming down behind you into a W shape. Arms in a V shape, elbows coming down behind you into a W shape. So of course, as with the other exercises, you're focusing on your shoulders. Your shoulders are drawing down away from your ears. Your shoulder blades are sliding down the back of your ribs. You've got muscles at the back shaped like a diamond, your trapezius muscles shaped like a diamond. And what you want to imagine is that the bottom of that diamond, the point at the bottom of that diamond is pulling down your back, drawing down your back. So you're thinking about that diamond shape, you're thinking about pulling that diamond down your back. Sometimes it helps for people to have an image of what's going on. It might not help you. But it's the shoulder blades drawing down. Everything's nice and flat and tucked in. Shoulder blades down. And of course your shoulders are not hunching up to your ears. Your shoulders are not forwards. They are rolled back. So that's your lovely VW. Okay, excuse me. Just going to roll the shoulders again. So I'm just going to do one more. This is, we did the shoulders going forwards and backwards. We're going to do the same thing, but adding in the arms. So this is a scapular retraction, a scap retract. So you're retracting your shoulders are going forward, but then you're drawing them back. So if this is really uncomfortable and it doesn't feel great, then just do the same thing with the shoulders without using the arms. But I'll do it from the side so you can see. So that's what we don't want, but we're starting off in that position, and then you're drawing the shoulders back. It's quite tricky to do, but really think about drawing the shoulders back, retracting your scapula. That's what it's all about, retracting your scapula, sliding your shoulder blades back and together. But if that's really uncomfortable, sometimes it's quite uncomfortable in the arms, then just do it like this. The same thing, but without adding in the arm. But focus on the backwards bit, don't focus on this bit, focus on this bit going back. Beautiful, that's your scapular retract. You could also do a similar thing with one arm at a time, so we could do the bow and arrow, so you could just bring back an elbow and look behind you, so your shoulder blade's still going back and sliding around towards the other one. I haven't got much space in this chair, you might have a bit more space. Actually, I'll do it sideways, that would be easier. So shoulders drawing back, give a little bit of a twist as well for a little bit of mobility of your spine. Breathing nice and deeply, keeping the tummy tight. Quite nice. Bow and arrow. Lovely. So of course, if you wanted to work harder, I didn't want to add anything today, but if you wanted to work harder, you could add weights or bands to any of these. You could add weights to the dumbwaiter. You could take your arms up like this, do the pulsing with weights. That would help to strengthen your back. The bow and arrow you could do weights with, and just even holding weights while you're rolling your shoulders just would make it a little bit harder, make you work a little bit harder. So that's all the basic exercises. So I'm just going to put my chair to the side and I'm just going to do it against the wall. So if you've got a wall or a door that you can stand against, the reason it's good to do this is that you can then tell. So if you've got this posture where you're forwards like this, it's going to be tricky to lean against the wall, and you'll feel that the top of your spine isn't touching the wall. So you can then think about it, think about pushing so with the chin tucked, you're thinking about pushing your nose back, and see if you can get the back of your head onto the door or the wall in contact with it, because if you're very, very kyphotic like this, it's going to be hard. But at least you can tell if you're getting there, if you're doing it. So you're pushing your nose back, you're getting your double chin, pushing your nose back. You can actually push it back as well. Imagine someone's coming right up in your face and you're trying to back away from them. And really, really feel that the back of your head is pushing back, squashing back into the wall. Lovely. So the other thing you can think about is the shoulders. Of course, you can take the shoulders forward. When you take them back, are they flat against the wall? Forwards is easy. Squeeze them back. Feel the shoulder blades and the shoulders in contact with the wall. So it's just, if you want to, it's just quite a nice idea to do it with the wall so that you can actually feel the contact and you can see if you're getting a little bit better. Lovely. So again, you could do the dumbwaiter like this, and with the dumbwaiter you can actually feel the shoulder blades moving against the wall. That's quite nice. That's quite a nice feeling for me. So all the exercises we've done, well, apart from the bow and arrow, you can't do that against the wall, there's nowhere to go, but you could do this one as well. There's not as much space, you can't take your arms right back, but you should still be able to feel that your shoulders are coming into contact with the wall. And of course the VW, so with the VW, that's quite nice on the wall, V shape, sliding the elbows down into the W shape, and you can feel what's going on with your shoulder blades. All of these exercises could be done, this one could be done lying down, it could be done sitting down, kneeling down, sitting on a ball, or lying on your front. This one can be done if that's comfortable for you. Just really, really working the shoulders and the shoulder blades. So that is all I'm going to do today, just a little look at your posture, and hopefully that's helpful for you if you do have this posture like this. This is not what we want it like this. So think about it, have a look at yourself, see if you can notice that posture in your body. Think about rolling your shoulders back, string pulling your head up, nose being pushed back, opening up the chest and squeezing the shoulder blades together. And if you do any of those exercises a couple of times a day, that would be brilliant. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you all next week. Thank you very much. Bye bye.